All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sparky Coach Pod or Poddy or Podcast or Podorama or Epodagusto, if you are that way inclined. All good. Crowie here, coming to you live, hand solo, hand sellout, hand scorpion. That's a deep Simpsons reference, the hand scorpion, if you know, right up in the hammock district. Anyone? Someone? No one. Maybe someone. Maybe you got that. But wherever you're listening to this, whether you're in the car, in the high ace, in the rusty cruiser, on a train, on a plane, on an automobile, on a motorbike, maybe you're riding your bike. Maybe you're on a kid's bike. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're on a unicycle. But whatever you're doing, just want your attention. May I have your attention, please? Slim's Shady Style. Just talking about busy today. And how much sometimes, when someone's like, how are you? And you're like, busy, man. I'm busy. I'm real busy. I'm real busy. I'm real busy. And it's almost worn like a bit of a badge of honor. Like, I'm busy. It's a sign that I'm achieving. It's a sign that I am important. It's a sign that I'm needed. It's a sign that I'm good at my job. It's a sign that like you carry as a bit of like sometimes you can carry around with a bit of pride. I remember when we had sort of 12 staff and a bunch of subbies and bits and pieces, and someone would be like, hey, and I'm like, oh hi, I'm Greg, I've got 12 staff. it's like crazy, right? You just write, it's forefront of mind that we're busy, I've got stuff to do and I'm really needed, and there's a part of being busy that I just want to challenge it. I want to challenge it and be like, okay, so sometimes when you get busy, I think you get lost. And when you get lost, you start to forget things. And when you start to forget things, you're unaware that you're doing the same thing twice. And when you're unaware you're doing the same thing twice, that's how you end up in the hamster wheel. That's how you end up in the washing machine. That's how you end up in the dryer. That's how you end up on the treadmill. That's how you end up on the yo-yo or the roller coaster, whatever you want to call it. You are doing the same thing twice and expecting a different result. Or you are busy, you are manic, you are stressed, you are forgetful, and you're walking past things. And busy, I just want to challenge it. Busy's shouldn't be worn as a badge of honor. I remember moving up north to the small town, which I believe is the greatest town in the world. We came from Cronulla originally and moved north into the Byron Bay sort of hinterland area. And I remember meeting this guy and I was like, what do you do with yourself? And he was like, as little as possible. And I was just like, wow, that's cool. Like, that's what we all want to do. We all want to do, essentially just stop where you're at and be like, why did you start the business? What made you want to start the business? And chances are you're a bit Robbie Williams, Kylie Minogue. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it for the kids, right? Chances are you're doing it for the kids, and it's like, yeah, I wanted to spend more time surfing, riding my motorbike, hanging out with the kids, and provide a safe financial future. No one who ever started a business said, you know what? You know, it'd be real cool. You know what I'm going for. You know, it'd be awesome. I'm gonna start the business, start doing a good job, and then I'm going to, word of mouth's gonna sort of happen because I'm doing a good job, and then they're gonna tell their friends, and Betty's gonna tell Susie, gonna tell Jimmy, gonna tell Benny, and they're all gonna get me. They're all gonna use me. And then when I get really busy, like if I get about 3 or 4 weeks booked out in advance, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop answering my phone. And you know what I'm going to do then? I'm just going to shut down to everything, and I'm just going to stop answering my phone, and I'm going to stop getting back to people, and I'm going to rush through things. I'm going to walk past PowerPoints hanging off the wall. I'm going to walk past opportunities to be like, hey, did you want to do that? Because I'm so busy and I'm overcooked, overbooked, and I'm going to get so tired. I'm going to work every night, and then every morning up at 5:30. You know what I'm going to do when I start my business? I'm going to have no time to exercise. I'm going to have no time to look after myself. And you know what the dining table is going to be? The office. So any kind of kids' dinner, anything that's going to go on this dining table, nah, I've got A3 plans over it. Forget about it. Get another table. See you later. No one started a business wanting to do or wanting to achieve these things. But it's amazing where you can end up if you don't have direction. No one started a business being like, I'm not going to get back to people. Then I'm going to get real stressed and I'm quiet. And then, what I'm going to do? I'm not going to... I'm just going to chuck myself in that hamster wheel and just for like 3 to 5 years, and I'm going to get to the end of July, August, and and my accountant's going to say like, oh, you didn't quite go as good, as you thought. And I'm like, oh, damn it, I'll just do the same thing again. And now I'm going to do that for like 3, 5, 7 years. And you know what? See what happens. Like, imagine saying that to someone. Imagine, like, but that's what happens, right? If you're not careful, you'll end up in the washing machine, in the dryer, and you'll end up just like doing the same thing twice and expecting a different result. And we all know the definition of insanity is continually doing the same things, but expecting a different result, expecting a different outcome. And I just want to like challenge it, because I feel like it sort of starts at busy. I feel like it starts when you're busy. I feel like it starts like, and I want to challenge it. Like, what if busy was an indicator? Like, what if like you just let go of your ego, let go of your insecurity? Busy is not a sign of importance. It's a sign of, it's possibly just a sign that like see it as an indicator. Okay, so I'm busy. I can't get back to people. Why? Because I've got so much site work and I need a hand. Okay, sweet. I might need to hire on site. Great. Okay, so what if busy was an indicator? And think about, what do you need when you hire someone on site? If you hired another tradie apprentice team tomorrow, what do you need for them? Because most people I sit with at the start of the year, like, I'm a big believer, you've got to have your feet in the sand and your head in the clouds. Like, your feet in the sand. So you need to know where you're at the start of 2024, but you also need to know where you want to be at the end of 2024. So your feet in the sand, but your head is in December 2024. Like, what is a good result? What do you want to be sitting down with a beer with, or a coffee with, or a kombucha with, or a steak with, or a vegan sanger with? Or what do you want to be sitting with at the end of the year and be like, yeah, I did it. Like, I've done good this year. And most people will suggest that that's an additional sort of 2 to 3 tradie apprentice teams. And then you think about it, what do you need for those teams? You need work. You need clients. And clients are so funny, because it's like, so often when the very thing you did to get busy, in other words, keep providing a good product and being on time, being clean, being an effective communicator, quoting properly, making sure you're making money, the very thing you did to get busy, sometimes you can stop doing. And when you stop doing it, you get quiet. And when you get quiet, you don't have the work to employ people. So it puts so much effort and emphasis on that lead generation, finding work situation, where it's like, you're only as good as what you were doing 3 to 6 months ago. You're only as good as what you were doing 3 to 6 months ago. Like, you really want to be putting in that. Okay, put it this way. There's X amount of, most people around your area can give you work in 3 to 6 months time. Most people like would have something in that around that. But the amount of people that can give you work for tomorrow or next week, the percentage drastically decreases, because not everyone has an urgent job and not everyone has something to do next week. That's why the finding work situation, or finding people that are going to give you repeat work, is such a good thing. And if you're like pretty established as a business owner, and you're like, you know what, like, we've got our clients and everything, we've got everything going on. Like, if you're pretty much an established business owner, you'll be basically you'll be like, oh, I don't want to grow my client base. And you're going to hit a point where you might not want to grow your client base, but you've got to keep those current clients happy. You've got to keep them serviced. You've got to have the serviceability, and you've got to have the capacity, and you've got to have the audacity and everything to sort of get moving and get jumping on it, because it's really important that, like, you're providing a high-end product and a high-level product consistently. Because once you start to not get back to people, once you start to drop the ball, once a couple of mistakes creep in, I'm a big believer you're only ever like 2, 3, 4 mistakes away from losing a client. Like, that's what you're doing. You've got to keep like your product high. You've got to keep your service level high. And back to busy. Like, so if you saw busy as an indicator, if you thought like, oh no, I want to sit at the end of the year with an extra 2 or 3 tradie apprentice teams, right? What do you need? Work. What do I need to do then? I need more work. Because if I threw 3 extra tradie apprentice teams at you right now, my question is, would you be able to handle it? So in other words, what we've got to do, we've got to reframe what we think busy is. If you've got just by yourself, or 3 or 4 staff members, and you want to get to 10, 12, or you're at 10, 12, want to get to 20, you might not be busy now. Because it's like, if I threw your desired size business at you, then it's like, well, you would be quiet, So your work goes from 4 to 6 weeks out, and it goes way back to 1 to 2 weeks, which is quite uncomfortable. If you've got 10 staff members, or 12 staff members or 15, you want to have those projects that push longer into the future. Like, you can't just be relying on 3 to 4 days in advance. You'll actually shoot yourself dramatically in the foot. It's going to be real hard. You end up paying a fortune for Google ads or for some crazy advertising at some point just to sort of push yourself back into the green. You'll end up having to, we've all been in that situation before where you might be a bit dry or a bit light on work, and you've had to sort of, you've had to skim the top off your quote to get it, because it's like, if I don't get this, what are we going to do? There's no plan B, right? So it's like, if I threw an extra 2 or 3 or 4 teams at you, are you still busy? And a big believer here, just to shout it out, and just to call it out, we've got a couple of real good calculators that we use in sessions and for our members, and they really guide the business trajectory. They really guide what's achievable financially and where you go. But you've got to really have some kind of desire, some kind of you've got to internally resolve that you're going to need staff. And I sat with someone the other day, and it was basically like, it was crazy. We sat there and they told me, I'll just say it because I don't have to say who it was, but I said, how did the last couple of years go? And it was, around that sort of 190 to 250,000. And then when I talk like that, I'm talking wage, business profit, what you paid yourself in admin, what you paid your wife or your partner, whatever. I'm talking as a big pool, because it gets confusing if you don't talk about it as a big pool. Well, I sat with someone one day and they were like, Crowie, I'm not making any business profit. Like, whatcha? Let's stab someone in the shins. Where's my money? Like Stewie from the Family Guy. Where's my money? Where's my money? That's actually really funny if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just look it up. Look it up on the old YouTube. But they were like, we're making no business profit. And I was like, sweet, well, what wage are you paying yourself? And this guy had like 1 or 2 staff members at the time, and they were paying him and his partner $135K each on wages. So that's $270 plus your super, around $300. And if you do the math on that, that money's probably not there at that point of business, right? Unless you're just absolutely cooking, which I highly doubt it, or unless you're working 80 hours a week, so you're working 2 full-time jobs, so you're doubling your income anyway. So it's like super interesting to watch, because I was like, well, the pie's not there, the business profit's not there, because you've eaten it. You've eaten the pie, and you're like, where's my blueberry pie, you bastards? Give me my pie. And there's blueberry all over your face. So it's like, or flip it up, and someone's like, I'm making heaps of business profit, and they might be paying themselves a really low wage. And it's like, well, that's where the money is. And I'm a big believer, if you come into our calculator, we enter you at market value, because market value is the only way where you can actually see what your business is actually costing you. Not saying that's what you're earning, I'm saying that's what you would be replaced for. And most of you are like Beyonce, I'm irreplaceable, you must not know about me, you must not know about me. You decide, Lord, in a minute. And matter of fact, hear me here. Great song, that one. I'd encourage you to look that up. And it probably doesn't sound quite as good as that one. But most of you are like, I'm irreplaceable. You know what? You're not. You're not irreplaceable. You're not irreplaceable. Other people can do your job. Maybe other people can do your job better than you. Have you ever thought about what you actually do sometimes? Sometimes you're like on site just answering the phone for all day. Sometimes you're in the office just putting out spot fires. And sometimes you're in the office trying to get quoting done and you get interrupted so much from emails or ping, 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 ping. And it's emails, it's WhatsApp, it's Signal, it's Messenger, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's your golf chat. And you're just like, what did I even do today? And you know what? You're replaceable. You are replaceable. You are totally replaceable. You are not irreplaceable. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I am replaceable, right? So on that business profit, like I sat with this person and they were talking about it as a pool, and it's earning like 190 to 250 last couple of years, and the calculator's saying it should be more like 400 with a couple of tweaks and efficiency. And you just got to think, like, sitting through the calculator, I'm like, at 8 hours a day, if you're getting 8 hours billable for everyone, you're making 400 grand. If you're getting 6 hours, you're making a $90,000 wage. So there's the difference in your wage and the difference in your earning capacity will more or less come down to billable hours. It's coming down to like, what's your efficiency? And everyone's resolve is always like, I don't know, got a bit of a gripe with like, you know what, I've got to be in my bonnet. With like, maybe with other coaching companies just telling everyone to raise their rates all the time. And if you see the calculator, like, you can manufacture the figures to be, there's a range where you can be in, but you can manufacture the range with a couple of like apprentice hires, or maybe do this at this point, or what if we did this, or what if we did that. Like, you can manufacture it within reason, right? Like within the generic mold, but you can change it. But the answer's not always to raise your rates. The answer is sometimes to raise your billable hours. You know, sitting with people sometimes, they're like, oh, I've just got to raise my rates. Just got to raise my rates. I'm like, maybe. Like, I'm not saying that's out of the question. I'm not saying that's doesn't have to happen. I'm also saying you can raise your minutes. I'm also saying, like, you think about this, you can get to $150 many ways to skin the cat. 150 times one, so $150 an hour. That's, yeah, cool. Or it can be $50 for 3 hours. So if I up the minutes, I earn the same money. And I just want everyone to sort of stop and appreciate that. And sometimes people sit in the calculator and they're like, whoa, I'm earning way more than that calculator says. And actually that's happened once. And this is like someone real switched on. I probably would say their name, but they're legends, like top tier in their little small town. And I was like, yeah, because you're getting more minutes in. That's fantastic. And when we started measuring it, we're like, this is amazing. This is exactly what you want. You want to be on the right side of efficiency. So efficiency, like, let's say your rate's $100 for just for argument's sake, and you're losing, like, you're getting 6 out of 8 billable hours. You're losing $200 a day, $1,000 a week, 50 grand a year. But let's say you quote, let's take a switchboard upgrade, and you do it in a day. And I know what you're thinking. You're driving there, sipping your coffee, thinking, Crowie, I'd smash that out in 4.5 hours, brother. And I'm like, great, good for you. You're the world's best Sparky. And so you should be. Carry that as a mantra. Actually, I had, I'm just going to give him a shout. I had Jay Williams from the Shire on a call the other night, and he goes, Crowie, I'd challenge you as the Ruffin Lord. And you know what I said to him? I said, be banished, Jay. Be banished from our community. No one challenges the Ruffin Lord. No one roughs in faster than me. No one has a tool belt on tool belt on tool belt like me. And actually, you know what? If you think you're the Ruffin Lord, send me a message. I would love to see something happen. Maybe we should have like a Ruffin contest between all the members. Like, I remember one day, one of the builders we worked for, they had a duplex, it was Cost Plus, and he was like, you know what we should do? We should get like you and it was Maddie, who was my head guy at the time. It was like, you and Maddie on, like, you on one side, Maddie on the other, and see who wins. And I was like, oh, nah, it's not the best idea. Mainly because at that time, I think he would have beat me. But I'd like to think that my skills increased, my leg speed increased, my pouch efficiency. Hey, I'll tell you what's good, those Bunnings pouches where you could got like 2 pockets, so 1.5 clips, 2.5 clips, hammer sides, electrical tape, Sharpie. What else do you need? That's pretty much it. Like, nothing else. Just bashing it out. I'll tell you what, a couple of cable rollers are better than apprentices on roughing. They don't talk back and they do their job properly, right? Cable rollers are the world's greatest things, the world's greatest invention. Anyway, so just sitting with people on the efficiency calculator going like, you know what, let's this year, let's hit your earning capacity. And back to the busyness of the whole thing. Sometimes when you're busy, most times when people are busy, they forget to measure their hours. They like, oh, I got that quote wrong because I was like, I remember when I first started doing my calculator and I was like, oh, that job was cooked because I remember quoting that job in the car, or I said something on the phone, or I didn't put that right, that I didn't have that variation pathway across there, or my schedule was cooked because like I didn't get back to that person last week and I felt bad, so I went there in the middle of the day, or like I remember quoting and not quite getting the pricing right because I was rushing and I was already late, so I sent it through, and I could, like, looking at the efficiency calculator, I could actually see the I was full Taylor Swift. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Like, guilty is charged with the problem, right? Like, I was watching it going, the on-site guys are killing it. Do you know who's not killing it? Me. And you know what my job is? To quote properly. You know what I'm doing? I'm busy. I'm trapped in the washing machine, the hamster wheel, the vortex, and I'm just like, ah! And I'm thinking, so busy isn't good. Busy is actually an indicator. It might be an indicator you need to hire on site. It might be an indicator that you need to hire an administration person. Do not get trapped in the thought where you think that no one can do it like me. That is an absolute ball-tearing trap. Lots of people can do it a lot better than you because they're not interrupted. That's their job. Imagine for you guys, like, in the sort of 8 to 20 staff range, imagine if I just gave you, if I said, hey, whatever your name is, Betty, Billy, Susie. Imagine if I said, hey, Jimmy, can you quote these 3 projects for me today? There's nothing else to do. You'd be kissing my feet. Going, imagine how easy your job would be if you didn't get interrupted. Like, right? So it's like, but that's why you employ people. It's like, hey, this is your job now. And if you are consistently getting interrupted, you got to challenge the process. Okay, how come? Why are you getting interrupted? And is it a sign that you might need to is it a sign you might need to hire? Right? That was my friend ringing to go surfing, which I will be going surfing after this. So it's like, is it a sign you need to hire? And busy for what? Like, what are you being busy for? What are you opening the computer every night for? What, like, and there's a stage of business I'm hell bent that 0 to 500K like revenue per year. That's the hustle stage. You got to hustle in that stage. Like, if you want the easy way out of that stage, you're probably not going to find it. There's like hustling, there's setting up, there's job management systems, there's price books, there's staff management, there's quoting, like there's scheduling, there's so much going on, the phone's ringing, you're like, you got to hire, but you can't, like, yeah. And when you're going to hire a tradie, just try and, like, you don't need to know the figures. You just need to know your hours. If you're going to hire a tradie, you want to be charging out 4 to 5 grand and paying them 2 to 3 grand. That's it. Forget about anything else. Like, just forget about it, right? You just want to be like, don't try and make the simple complex. Try and make the complex simple. That's what you got to do. But when next time you're busy, ask yourself why. Why am I busy? And maybe you got too much on. And so many times you see people like, oh man, my job is just so unachievable. And it's because it is unachievable. It's like you're trying to hit a rough-in, like a 5-day rough-in in a day and a half. And you're like, oh, I just can't do it. No one can do it. Of course you can't do it. It's impossible. So it's like, next time you're really busy, next time you're manic, next time you're sort of like feeling like you're in a bit of the washing machine, ask yourself why. What's going on? Just take a moment, step back, breathe into it, and be like, why do I feel like this? And chances are your job might feel unachievable, and chances are your job might actually be unachievable. And it's like, okay, sweet. And just try and apply some wisdom to it. If I want to be like where I want to be at the end of the year, what do I need? Probably a bit more work. So why am I pushing these jobs away? Why am I not taking this month-long job as a springboard? I just sat with someone on Friday. Sounds like I'm always sitting with someone, and I am. that's actually my job. A bit of Zoomy, bit of face-to-face, and but yeah. So like, I sat with someone, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, I got this project going for 2 months, and this is a person with sort of one tradie, one apprentice in the next couple of weeks." So kind of early stages of business, and I was like, look, here's what you can't do. You can't just immerse yourself in this project for the next 2 months and then come out and be like, where's the work? Like, yeah, you might. And it's like, okay, this job is a springboard. This job is an opportunity. This job is a stepping stone. You're going to hit this job 2 to 3 days a week. Your tradie and the apprentice are going to run it. And you're going to hit it 2 to 3 days a week. The other days, you're going to be chasing work. You're going to be tidying up some small stuff so that they can basically stay where they're at. And you're going to use this job to employ someone to handle the other work. And we're going to use it as a stepping stone. We're going to use it as a springboard. We're going to use it because where do you want to be at the end of the year? 2 additional tradie apprentice teams. What do we need? Work. What are we going to use? This as an opportunity. So try and see busy as an indicator, and try and see the indicator as an opportunity. Do you need to hire? Do you need to hire an admin person? Do you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself? Because so many people just like go through the motions in business, and it's very easy, if you're not careful, to be the disgruntled person going like, I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. There was no money in that. Oh yeah, I dabbled in that. Like, I used to have some staff, and like I said, efficiency's hectic. Like, it can take you from 400 grand where you're meant to be to 90. And if that's what you want, that's not what you want. I don't even have an answer to that. No one's saying like, you know what I'd like to earn, Crowie? I'd like to earn as little as possible. You know what I want? I want just no time. Like, I'd love to be working on site 10 to 12 hours, coming home and over the computer. No one's doing that. So let's make 2024 different again. Let's make 2024 great again. Let's make 2024 simple again. And we'd love to help you. So please reach out if you need a hand or need a strategy session, or just want to hang out and just want to sit down and break some bread and chat through some stuff, because we're doing some good things, and we think we've got the skills to pay your bills, and we'd love to help you. So next time you're busy, what are you going to do? You're going to be breathing into it, like take that 5 minutes. Why do I feel like this? Okay, sweet. I'm gonna hire that. I'm gonna get an apprentice. I'm gonna put a tradie on. I'm gonna put an administration assistant on. You know what's not happening? My efficiency, and my admin's not handling it. I might need another admin person. Oh, you know what? It's not doing this. I'm gonna do this. So it's like, don't do the same thing twice and expect a different result. So next time busy comes up, you're gonna wha-pow, wa-cha! Look into it and be like, why? And then when you ask the question why, things are going to change, stuff's going to happen, and you're going to be doing good things. So try and think about, where do you want to be at the end of the year and what needs to happen for that to happen. So where do you want to be at the end of the year? I pretty much guarantee most of you will say something like, make as much money as possible. Great thing to do. That's what we want. We don't want to strive for nothing. That would be ridiculous. Most of us want to get a couple of extra teams on there, a couple of extra vans on the road, bit of rubber on the road. Most of us want to be working for some better clients. You can't replace your better clients when you're not looking for them. And just stay open with a client situation and staff situation. I'm just going to shout it out. A bird in the hand sometimes is better than two in the bush. Sometimes we can look for new people and put so much effort and emphasis on the new person, but we actually forget about the ones we've got. So this year, don't forget about the ones you've got. Don't forget about the people at home. Don't forget the people sitting around the dining table. Don't forget about the measuring the hours. Don't forget about the efficiency. Don't forget about proper quoting. Don't forget about where you want to be at the end of the year. So focus where you want to be at the end of the year. You can achieve a lot in a year. Let's make this year different. Let's make this year great. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys soon.